Hello, class. I hope you had a good Easter weekend. Um, Today, I am going to do a lecture on different sentence structures. Now, in our book, this book here, our writing book, we talked about three different sentence structures: simple sentence, compound sentence, and complex sentence. Okay, so I wanted to teach you just in one lecture how to kind of mix the different kinds of sentences. Okay, so first let's look at a marker board, and I wrote three different sentences here. Let's see if I can get them all here. Okay, so the first one is students can learn a language easily. So try and think about subject and verb and all kinds of things in here. And now I will mark them. So students is the subject, can learn is a verb, and then a language is the object, and easily. So this is a simple example of a simple sentence, right? And our pattern, I should have left room for this, is subject verb. That's it, that's the pattern. All right, let's look at the second one. These are all about the essay, how to learn a language. Okay, so they need to study every day, and they should find native speaker friends. So hopefully you can figure out subject and verb and anything else here. Okay, now I will do it for you. They, as a subject, need to study is the verb. Every day, oops, I forgot a comma. And they should find native speaker friends. That's an object. Okay, so here we have an example. If we were in class, I would ask you, what kind of sentence is this? And hopefully you would say compound sentence. So the pattern, SV, comma, and SV. That would be the pattern of sentence number 2. Now let's go to sentence number 3. Students can learn a language if they follow these 3 steps. All right, so let's go here. Before I start, think about subject verb. You can pause the video if you want. Now let's figure it out, and then we'll decide what kind of sentence this is. Students is a subject, can learn is the verb, a language, object, if, another subject, they follow these 3 steps. It's another object. Okay, so what kind of sentence is this? Well, let's write the pattern down here. SV, if, SV. Okay, and if you said a complex sentence, you are correct. So we first have a simple sentence, then we have a compound sentence, and then we have a complex sentence. Now, you might be asking, why is this important in essay writing? Well, one grade that you get on your midterm and final exams is whether or not you have good control of your sentence structures. Okay? Now, I know there is no final exam for our class this semester. However, next semester, you will have a midterm and final, and you will have to have good command of sentence structure. So let's, let me try and find a clean spot. Here we go. All right, so for example, this would be, I'm going to try and write a paragraph, and this would be an example of bad command of sentence structure. Okay, students can learn a new language. They need to study every day. Students should, find friends. Okay. These friends should speak the language, the new language. Students can incorporate the new language in their everyday life. Okay, so all of these sentences are the same. Let's read this whole thing. Students can learn a new language. They need to study every day. Students should find friends. These friends should speak the new language. Students can incorporate the new language in their everyday life. What kind of sentences are all of these? If you said simple sentences, you are correct. Now, how does this little paragraph sound? Does it sound fluent and pleasant to read, or does it sound a little choppy and disconnected, as we say, not connected? To me, this sounds choppy and disconnected because all we used here was simple sentences. So what we need to do is combine ideas and make it less choppy. And how we do that is using different sentence structures. Okay, so the first sentence I might say, if I'm going to use a complex sentence, these are all simple, if students, and then I'm going to change the words a little bit, want to learn a new language, comma, they need to study every day. Okay, the next sentence, students. The other thing I'm going to do, okay, students should also find friends who speak the new language. Hopefully you can see this. Okay. So, in addition, I hope you can see all this. Students can incorporate the new language in their everyday life. Okay, so here we have complex sentence, and simple sentence. Okay, now in essay writing, we often don't use simple sentences as much as we use complex and compound sentences. Okay, now let's read the second paragraph, which has the same information as the first. If students want to learn a new language, they need to study every day. Students should also find friends who speak the new language. In addition, students can incorporate the new language in their everyday life. All right, this is much more, it flows more, it's not as choppy. The first one is a little bit choppy. Okay, now, this also happens and is a common problem among students at the 200 level. Okay, so I'm just going to change this second paragraph, I think. If students want to learn a new language, they need to study every day. And also, so I erased sorry, I'm trying to make sure everybody can see this. I think you can see better if I'm standing up. And also, students should find friends who speak the new language. In addition, students can incorporate the new language in their everyday life. Okay, so here what we have is the first sentence here. This is often a problem, and I just wanted to point it out to you. If students want to learn a new language, they need to study every day, and also students should find friends who speak the new language. In addition, students can incorporate the new language in their everyday life. And let's add to it this idea can, sorry, what did I say? The step. This recommendation, sorry, 2 C's. This recommendation can be very beneficial because students will learn, sorry, I'm standing so I can't write very well, faster, and because they will find it easier to study the language in school. Okay, so let's look at this whole paragraph now that I ruined it. Now it's bad. Okay, if students want to learn a new language, they need to study every day, and also students should find friends who speak the new language. In addition, students can incorporate the new language in their everyday life. This recommendation can be very beneficial because students will learn faster and because they will find it easier to study the language in school. Okay, this has 2 very long run-on sentences. They're too long. Okay, this, if you wrote this, you need to, if you write like this, you need to incorporate the rules of sentence structure for this because these are 2 run-on sentences that need to be cut off. Now, students often do this with words like because. They might add a comma because, well, this one and because you wouldn't, but you could put a comma here. And because they just keep doing comma, comma, comma throughout the whole essay. It is also very popular to do this Let me see, where was it? And also up here. Okay, so they just keep adding on, and also, in addition, because, and they just have little commas here and there. Okay, instead of adding on information, think about sentence structure and divide it up. Okay, so we already had it good, but we'll change it again. If students want to learn a new language, they need to study every day. And I'll just put a period. Also, okay, that's also, students should find friends who speak the new language. In addition, students can incorporate the new language in their everyday life. I'll put a period and capitalize, period and capitalize. This recommendation can be very beneficial because students will learn faster. Okay, instead of saying and because, I might say in addition, okay, so I'll add a transition word there and put the period here. In addition, they will find it easier to study the language in school. Okay, so that is my lesson today. I hope that was helpful, especially for people who have difficulties with sentence structure. But before you hand in your 5-paragraph process essay, I want you to really look at it and analyze the sentence structure, okay? And make sure you're mixing your sentence structures. You're not only doing simple sentences or complex sentences, and you're not doing the comma, comma, comma thing with all the transition words that I just described to you as well. All right, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good morning, I guess, because you'll probably see this in the morning. All right, bye.